Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. How are you? I'm so happy to see you and be with you. I really am. I kind of chuckle because I'm like, oh no, what am I going to share? Like the same thing, right? And I thought, seriously, I should bail. I really should bail today. And I'm like, you don't invite people over for tea and then tell them they can't come. So come on in, sit down. Let's just be together, heart to heart. Like, yeah, the safest place to be, the most relaxing place to be. And so let's just move into that place where we always move into that is breathing us our very miraculous, incredible, amazing breath. That's arising from nothing. How miraculous is that? That we are being breathed by this that is arising from nothing in every breath that's flowing through us. This could only be God's breath living and breathing within me, within you. Like, say it out loud. Like, I am the breath of God. I am that. And what if this breath that is arising from nothing is arising from the nothingness of the deep womb of Mother Earth herself, because we're made of her? What if it's her heartbeat beating our heartbeat? Because we are that same beat. We're safe, we're held, and we are embraced in every moment by the love that of all that is. So there's so much going on that can shake the very foundation of the love that we are. But that love foundation is unshakable. It's just the humanness of us that can shake within it. So, so yeah, it was this morning. Like, okay, so I have so much. Like last week, when we connected last week, wow, my life kind of made an absolute U-turn, something I didn't expect and something I needed to let go of, which um, you might have read on my Substack post. And I had the most amazing miracle happen. You can read about that. But anyway, because of all that, I'm just like, what am I going to say? Like, what am I going to share here? And uh, I was at my sink and I looked down at the faucet, and there was some water that had dried in the shape of a heart. And I'm like, wow, of course, we, I can't, like, everything's right when I start with love. So, um, then I thought of this story that happened to me years and years ago. So I don't, you might feel this too sometimes, like, what's my purpose? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? I know there's something I can't quite get there. It's kind of exhausting. Like I was chasing all kinds of, listening to all kinds of podcasts and just the search of who am I? Like, what am I here for? And I'm, um, but actually, before that, before I, or during that time, I'm sitting on a curb with a friend, and she picked up this heart rock and she said, "There's hearts everywhere. I find them all the time." And it never occurred to me to notice hearts in my world. And it just ignited this thing in me to start looking for not just heart rocks, but hearts everywhere, because I saw them as signs of love. And if we could just be uh, reminded again and again that we are loved and we are love, that would help us so much. So I'm on my walk, another, walk way, way, way back, and I'm feeling all this purpose thing and this, oh, unrest. Like where do we, what, And I looked up in this tree, and first of all, the fragrance was unbelievably sweet and amazing, and it just filled my whole being. Like that is the fragrance of love that just touches every part. And then I saw the branches make this heart, like there was this light that had shone through the way that the limbs were set. And I thought to myself, if all I do in this lifetime is help people look for signs of love, that they know that they're loved, that's all. That's all. That's good. That's good. So I felt a lot of relief in that. I'll just help people remember that they're loved. Look for signs of love. And so I had this idea. And so from there on, honestly, I'm like seeing hearts everywhere. And if you open that reticular activation part of your mind, like you're looking for signs of love, you are going to find them everywhere. So you will find them in heart shapes, but you will also find them everywhere. Like, I'm on my walk this morning and it's cold. The wind is, I've got a headwind. It's beautiful out, but it's cold. And I could look at all the ways that this is not comfortable. But coming towards me was a gentleman with his dog. That was love all over the place, radiating everywhere. The love between them, the love of this man walking his dog, and the fields that I'm looking at that now look pretty bare, like they're brown, because underneath them, I mean, there's a little green popping up, but the seeds are under there, and the miracle of life is happening more than probably anywhere else under the unseen. And that's love. And that's about ready to pop up and blossom and become a harvest of wheat or whatever it is, the crops and the sky and the cloud. Like there is love everywhere, even in all of this other. And you know, last week, because I kept remembering this, like it's like people, I want them really to understand that I am not blind to the atrocities and to the evil and the awfulness that's happening. When I say that there is love, we are the eyes of God, and we are here looking for love and looking for God and hearing God and speaking and feeling and touching, like creating more God, because God is in everyone and everything. And that is what I believe is true. And of course, I'm just giving you my perspective of things, but and that there's a spark in everyone and everything. And even if the spark is just their breath, because that created you created them. And because of all of these awful things that they are, and behaviors and things they are participating in, that I am absolutely 100% behind. Yes, let's expose it. Yes, justice, like all of that. But I still know that every soul was created by love itself, by the very breath of God itself. And so it isn't the soul that is flawed at all. It's pure divinity. It's just all the layers and all the barriers and all the hard, it is completely covered up, that it is the illusion of suffering that keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, that is creating all of this. Because if we all understood that we were and are love, and our every breath is love, and everyone we look at into their eyes, we're looking into the eyes of God, and everyone we're listening to, like if we were coming from the absolute truth of who we are, none of this would be happening. None of this. We would be in such celebration of each other. And so that I just wanted to say that to clarify if anyone had any thoughts like that. So back to my story of looking for signs of love. So I had this idea that if I just made little tokens of love that said, because you are here, the world is more wondrous. And in the center, a heart that says you are loved. And I have this most amazing friend, artist, website creator, and I gave her my vision, and it's just like so great when when people get you, like they see your vision and they can create it. So anyway, so she did. She created the website for me, which I think is still up, but theresagooch.com is my website. And if you go there and sign up for my love notes, you will get these. Yeah. Wait. Okay. It just says you are loved. They're little tokens of love, and you can download them yourself and um, pass them out as you wish. I I used to do this way more, but I have handed these out to people in an airport that just seemed, I don't know, I just like give them a token of love. And so, I mean, I've had people just like look at me and start crying when I've handed them, like, you just know when to hand these out. Um, I've handed them out in a line at a store with a very distraught child. And I've handed the token to the child and I've said, "This is your magic button." And they look at me and all their tears stop and this big smile spreads across their face. So I've had fun with these. And so look for signs of love. That's really what I want to say today, is that they are everywhere and they're here for us. We're standing on love. We're moving in love. It's all there is. It's just the lie of separation that is creating all the chaos. And um, we've been programmed for that. Like, none of this is our fault. Like, we've been so programmed and traumatized. And to step into who told me that is a really great question when you start unraveling your beliefs, because beliefs are thoughts we've thought over and over and over again. And they're always colored with our experiences and the way we view life. But just to unravel our beliefs and to open up into the deepest part of us where love is, um, we start to see all of the ways in which all the lies. And they're so, once we can actually look at the lie and just go, oh, that's a lie, like I am love, and move back, there's freedom. And all of the knots, I'm not this, I am not that. It's like those are such lies, and most of them have been totally programmed for eons, like generations, and well-meaning, but they're trapping us and they're keeping us small and they're keeping us tied up inside of ourselves and outside of, just from being the freedom of who we really are. And we really are here to live the life we love. Like, what do you love? Like, you get to live that. That's the whole purpose. That is creating more God here. I have this incredible niece. Oh, my nieces are amazing, but I mean, um, I just this just comes to mind. This this niece was just saying, I love to do wild things, like live life full out. She goes, I'm not spiritual. I just think that life is here to really be lived and to live it how I want to live it and have fun. And even if it's a risk, even if it's a huge risk, like, evil Knievel stuff, like, jumping across buildings, what I mean? Just, and I'm like, yes. That's the most spiritual thing you could ever be, is to be who you truly are. Like, what is that? That you want to be free, living and being and doing. Like, go do that and know that you're free. The deal is, we don't really know that we're free. Like, everything we bump up is a no. And it's like, it's a knot. And so we get to untie the knot. And one day we're more free, and then we're more free. And I just believe it's an eternal journey, because love is eternal expansion. Um, you know what? It reminds me, Kyra, I heard her say, we're all the same age because we're all eternal. Like, isn't that the truth? It's like, this is an ever eternal expansion of us. And, and so there's no end of the journey. Like, we just get to be expanding into more and more freedom. Yeah. So, that is that. About the love tokens. Okay, so I look out over here. Like, I have the most beautiful view, by the way. Like, I'm looking at these big windows, and there's these wheat fields and one of these amazing evergreen trees on the side of the property. Anyway, so when you see me look out there, I'm like, I wonder where they think I'm looking. Yeah, that's where I'm looking. Anyway, okay. Yes, okay, so I keep having this picture that I experienced one time, like all week. I've been seeing this in my mind's eye. So I'm just going to share it with you, because there's so much going on that feels so hard. Like, and we just need to surrender. We just get to surrender. Actually, it's just really surrender into love, because that's what you're surrendering into. I grew up where surrender was um, taught, that surrender was um, surrendering into a will that isn't your own will. It's something that you would hate and don't want to do, and it's going to be really painful. And it took me years to understand that surrendering to love was surrendering to your truest heart's desires, that is the will of God. Like, God is not outside of us. You are that inside, within and without. And so anyway, so as we're moving through this, it's just like surrendering to it, not being able to see, not knowing, but surrendering into knowing we are so held and so protected, and we are moving into a new flow. And that is the image that I've been seeing, as I see, and I've been telling myself, this is expansion, and you're moving into a new flow. Like last week, I talked about a new version of ourselves, which is a new flow, right? So this is the story. So, um, man, I've always lived around some amazing rivers, but especially in Oregon, they're so gorgeous. And a lot of them have, like, well, they're all different depths, of course. So this one time, I am standing in the flow of this beautiful crystalline clear river, but not very deep. I mean, probably 6 inches deep or so, and on these smooth pebble, like big stones, and it was lovely. It felt lovely. It just felt lovely standing in this river on these smooth stones and feeling the flow of the river just flow around my feet. Like, I was stable. It wasn't like a huge flow that I was off balance. It was just super pleasant. It was a warm day. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, like all around me, trees, and the sun was shining, and it just felt so good and to look down the river. But I noticed that just ahead of me, I don't know, maybe 6 feet or something, that the riverbed dropped, oh, maybe a foot. And it started more water, like the river actually expanded out. So where I was standing, it was kind of a little narrow, not that much, but a little. But then when this dipped down, the riverbed expanded out. So there was more river, there was more water, and it was deeper, and the flow was faster because there was more water and the way that the riverbed was going. So so when we think about stepping into more flow, like that's what I saw all week. It's like I'm going to step down that step into more flow. Where I see more flow, there's more water, there's more flow. I still have my balance and it's still lovely and it's even more beautiful. And then that river, it kind of took a bend and the water converged back into, like, it moved more narrow. But ahead were some really fun rapids, like not crazy rapids, but like fun rapids. Like if you've ever done that, they're really fun to be on a raft and um, ride down that white water a little, not crazy. Sometimes crazy is really fun too, though. But anyway, it was perfect. In order for me to enjoy that rapid and that flow ahead of me, I would need to be in a raft. So life will do that for us. Like the more we move into that new flow, because we're always like, we're born to be in the flow. And when we recognize, like, we can choose in the flow or out of the flow, but in the flow is a different experience so many times, depending on what's going on in our life. Sometimes we just need to stand in it and feel how beautiful it is, you know, to to massage our feet, to feel the rocks. And then sometimes it expands into even more. And then sometimes it can get even more exciting. And so life gives us a raft and we get to flow with more. And it's even a new flow. We step into an even more flow, new flow, stepping into the raft that will take us there. So if you're moving through things, just notice, like, there's the river of life will offer you more flow. And right now, it's probably time for you to step into a new flow of more love because water is love. It's absolute love. And so that's what we get to step into, which gives us the freedom. Like, we're not judging anyone or anything. We're just like stepping into our heart's desires and what makes us happy and the adventure ahead of us. And there's always beauty all around. So um, it reminded me, I listen to Deva and Meaton all the time. Like, they just open my heart so much. I love their music. Anyway, Meaton, there is a song that he sings often. And this is the part of the lyric that I often remember. And it's this: if you don't fight with life, life will carry you on its shoulders. Life will carry you on its shoulders. Okay, so it's like thinking about going down the rapids in a raft. It's like fun for me. Like, it's fun. And the child, so can you picture the child on the shoulders of their parent? They're in so much joy. Like, They love it. It's so fun. Like they're seeing from a higher perspective, and it's just so fun to be so close to their dad or their mom, holding them as they're being held on the shoulders of their parent. So love does that for us. Love is life, and life is love, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even if there's those of us around us that have forgotten and it doesn't look like love. It's only the wall of separation. And um, I'm just gonna say this before I close is that because I often think of this. So I think of Mother Mary as this gentle light. Like there's a song about her, and that the strong, gentle light, which to me, the strongest gentle light is the sun that's rising. That sun that's rising is rising on every single person. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter what they're doing right now. It doesn't matter. The sun, the absolute pureness of love itself is always rising and always here, no matter what. And we are that. Like that's our journey to get to be that, to radiate that. And not like I said at the beginning, it's not like I'm saying, oh, this doesn't exist, but it's like the more you stand in the love that you are, the more that love radiates and it protects you. It's not a fight. It's just don't if you don't fight with life, life will carry you on its shoulders. Love will carry you on its shoulders. I love you so much, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.